conversation, and this episode is sponsored by Dank Seeds, the purveyors of quality seeds. We partner with Dank Seeds to curate a short web series called Growing Up Dank, where we follow 3 growers who are 3 different levels of experience and watch them bring plants to life. You can watch the first 9 episodes of Growing Up Dank on our YouTube channel right now, and please head to dankseeds.com so you can start your growing journey. All right, man, let me get into this episode. What's up, man? I ain't been back. I ain't been over here in about two weeks now. I feel like y'all was missing me, man. So I had to pop in today and give y'all a quick recap of where we've been at in life, and definitely a recap of our trip to Las Vegas. You know, that's primarily why we've been out of town, you know, between holidays and all that other stuff. But we've been planning to go to Las Vegas, and this round, I brought my man Herb with me, man. So Herb, the producer for Live Hip Hop Daily, he's also famous too. He realized that when he got to Las Vegas, people was like, "Yo, is you Herb? It's you Live Hip Hop Daily?" But Herb came through with me, man. So we been out the studio last couple of days, but we back, like I said, today, and I'm gonna give y'all a little recap of what happened while we was in Vegas. But before we go into that recap, let me tell you about something that happened to me hours ago. I get an email from Cash App, and I didn't really know what it was about. I just happened to look at it because they sent me 2 different ones because I got 2 different emails. So the email goes, "You need to change your username." And I'm like, maybe some updating shit. Like, what do you mean I need to change my username? I read the whole email. Apparently, CashColorCannabis is against Cash App regulations. Now, mind you, I've been having Cash App for years, bro. Like, I've been getting Cash App lump sums for years, and they never had an issue with it. But on today's date of December 5th, 2023, I get an email from Cash App saying there's no longer going to be a CashColorCannabis Cash App by December 18th. And that's just that. They're going to shut your account down. So I'm like, so that's 2 times this year between Stripe and Cash App that a payment processor has tried to shut me down primarily because of the name, not because of anything that actually we do. Simply a name. And I think that's foul as hell, man. We got to do something about this. We're going to protest. I want everybody to uninstall Cash App right now and protest a CashColorCannabis. Let's all be in unison here. Use Zelle, use whatever, man, but don't use Cash App. Cash App is on some fraud shit and some phony shit right now. I'm not feeling that, man. I'm not feeling that. But I did change my name. I did change my name because I do got to do a lot of business with Cash App. So now it's CCC Media. They seem to be happy with that because CashColorCannabis was so, I guess, egregious and in their face. Anywho, man. So, yeah, like I mentioned, we just came back from Las Vegas. This was my probably 6th time going to MJBiz. Actually, maybe 7. But I think around 6 times. Probably 6 times I've been to Vegas at least. Or at least, no, I take that back. It has been 6 times. It was 5 times I've been to Vegas that I've gone to the MJBiz conference. For those who don't know, the MJBiz conference is the biggest cannabis conference in the world. It's presented by MJBiz Daily, which is a prominent cannabis media outlet from magazine, website, podcast. They definitely cover the industry in depth. So they put on this conference every year, and this conference is massive. If you've ever been to Las Vegas for MJBiz, you know what I'm talking about. It's 11 football fields long. So when you say you're doing a whole lot of walking, you're doing a whole lot of walking, man. It's split up into two different parts of the conference center overall. And then you got the upstairs part, which is where the breakout sessions are. It's just a lot, man. It's a whole lot of walking. So you definitely got to be in some good shape. Shout out to my man Herb, though. Herb was smart. At midway through our first day in Vegas, Herb said, "I'm done walking." Like, he already told me I got to go back to the hotel. I got to get some batteries for the stuff for the camera. So I'm like, cool. I'm kicking it at the spot. I get a phone call. Herb's like, "Yo, when you see me, you're going to be laughing." I said, "All right, what am I going to be laughing about?" This dude pulls up on the motorized scooters. Like, some shit you would have if you broke your leg or something. Here comes, that's what Herb driving around in. So I gotta follow this man. We going through the conference. I'm walking. This man just zoom, 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 right next to me, zooming around this conference center, going from place to place, spot to spot, exhibit to exhibit, exhibitor to exhibitor. Everything that we was going to, my man was just zooming around for that first day. And he's a trendsetter because I told people, yo, the day after, you started seeing so many people grab these scooters that was around this conference center and said, you know what? Yo, he's smart. I ain't walking either. So clearly Atlanta does influence everything. Because my man definitely had them all using scooters that following day. But so we down there for 3 days, and for the 3 days we were there, we knocked out some amazing interviews, man. And all of them wasn't in a traditional way that I normally do my interviews, and that's primarily because this year they MJBiz stopped doing Podcast Row. Now, Podcast Row was a situation where they would have sectioned off rooms for people who were doing podcasts, and I was one of them who was doing podcasts. I religiously held my section. Like, matter of fact, this year I was ready. Like I told Herb, I was ready to upgrade my whole life. I was about to book out like the biggest room they had, because I was like, I already knew how we was gonna get down. And they was like, nah, I got an email back. Nah, we ain't doing Podcast Row this year, but we got some other ideas if you want to be down. So yeah, they had some dope ideas. It was called it was a joint session that they were doing the Joint Lounge, the Joint Lounge, and that's where some podcasts were filmed. Cannabis Diversity Report and the Lasagna Ganja podcast with Exhibit and the Cannabis Cutie. Shout out to Exhibit. Exhibit was one of the interviews we did that day. Matter of fact, Exhibit was an amazing interview. And shout out to my man Tahir with Cannabis Diversity Report. We had our signals all mixed up. Apparently, he thought I was supposed to be interviewing him. I get down to the Joint Lounge, and the very next thing I heard from Kelly with MJBiz was, "Are you ready to interview with Tahir?" And I was looking like, "Me interview?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I was shocked. And so I had to go up there and go do my 1-2 thing with my man Tahir, and that interview was fire. Actually, I don't really brag on myself too much. But that interview was fire. I was spitting hot flames. Many quotables. And this is how I know I was doing dope. One of the people who was watching was Exhibit. And Exhibit was front, sitting right here in the front, and while I'm doing my shit. And I'm going in. And I saw Exhibit laughing. I saw him smiling. I was like, yo, I'm on it. I'm on one right now. This must be the adrenaline, because I'm still half tired. But we killed that. So shout out to Tahir. Shout out to Lasagna Ganja. They another dope podcast. They had the block shut down as far as what their interviews was. They had everybody from Burners up there, Calvin Johnson. They had a whole list of people come through, man. So shout out to them. It was a really dope show that they do together. But also, as far as our interviews, like I said, we didn't do them in our normal traditional way where we do a lot of sit down interviews. This round we were standing up, and luckily for my boy Herb, we had the remote microphones. And he was just filming me. And a lot of times, rather than us even doing our setups where we have people just stand and we do the little 10 minutes joints where we just go in and out of an interview, which we did do. We did do that for two guests. Nah, me and Herb went old school gorilla style on them, man. We took it back. We went old school gorilla. Like, we walking up to people like, we seen them come out. We seen people come out the conference center like, going back and forth like, yo, let's do this interview. That's how we got Jim Devine. Shout out to Jim Devine, man. Jim, you just gotta see the interview. Jim's an amazing dude, man. He does a lot of amazing things. He works for LA Weekly. If you know him, you know him. But his interview was dope, and he was very humble, gracious dude for stopping and speaking with us. Same thing with my son. Shout out to the Bronx Bomber himself. My son was sitting in the crowd watching a conference, watching some speakers while I was in the room with them. And I remember kept looking over to my left and was like, yo, I feel like that dude, he looked familiar as hell. And then I finally caught it later. I was like, yo, that's my son. I was like, I love to interview this dude while he here. Like, because it's crazy that you even here. Like, I don't know what you have to do with weed. Like, it's wild that you here. Herb ain't here, though. So I'm looking for Herb, because Herb got the cameras and Herb got the mics. I said, Herb, where you at? I'm almost on the way, dog. I got you. I'm like, bro, you about to miss some real Bronx shit. Like, you talk this Bronx shit all day, nigga. You got a Bronx dude right here. You got to get in here. He finally get in here. He didn't fully know what I was saying. I was like, yo, my son is right there. Like, literally, the dude's right there. He look over. Let me get these mics out. Shout out to my man Marvin. Marvin Bing. Marvin hooked up to the interview. But my son sat down for a good 5 minute talk with us. That felt like it was 20 minutes, man. That felt a lot longer. When I saw the final video, because Herb just sent it to me a little while ago earlier today, that interview felt a lot longer, and it's primarily because one of his answers about hip hop. You know what I mean? Like that answer alone, I felt like was 5 minutes, but apparently it was a good in and out 5 minute interview. And shout out to my son, man. He was definitely another gracious dude, real humble. I really appreciate the fact that you took that time to kind of speak with us. But also for the slew of interviews we got rolling out, not only is it Exhibit, We got my son. We got Sasha Nugent, who's retail manager at Housing Works NYC. Jimmy, like I mentioned, Jimmy Devine from LA Weekly, and my girl Roz McCarthy with M for MM and Black Buddha. Also, my boy Tahir Jones, Simply Pure, New Jersey. Shout out to you for opening up the first franchise in the Simply Pure family and bringing it to your hometown in New Jersey. Also, I got a chance to meet Dr. Martin Luther King's son. Yeah, that was a take back too, because we were supposed to interview him, but he was only in town real quick and we didn't have a whole lot of time. But as fate has it, I was just back in the joint lounge. This is right after Herb had went back to the hotel, because he old, he tired. He's like, I can't do it. But Herb, I forget why he went back to the hotel. He went back to the hotel for a second, and before I left, I walked back over to the joint lounge just to see what's up. And that's when somebody had said, "Oh no, it's Kelly again." I got to give Kelly way more props. Kelly with MJBiz, she definitely helped organize the joint lounge and helped organize a lot of us influencers for helping us as far as locking in interviews and doing a lot of stuff. I get back over to the joint lounge and Kelly asked me, she said, "Hey, do you still want to talk to MLK the Third?" And I was like, "Yeah, I would love that." Well, she said he ain't doing interviews, but it'd probably be good for y'all to do a little meetup. So I walked around the corner and here he is having a full conversation with Greenstop. Shout out to Greenstop. Greenstop was on the podcast probably in 2019. Like, they was on there forever ago, but it's a vending machine that dispenses cannabis products, and it's totally armor. I didn't know it was armor. Like, that shit is like impenetrable. Like, yeah, serious. Like, you gotta be on your whole entire A game to break into that. But he was over there and Greenstop was explaining to them what they do. And after he got done with the conversation, his publicist, and I just emailed her earlier today. We trying to link me and MLK the Third together. But after he was done, we had a chance to really sit down and talk for a little while. He told me, he said, "Man, I'm in Atlanta." He said, "We definitely got to see each other." And I was like, "For real, bro?" And they go, here goes his publicist. "You should have told him your last name, because my last name's King." She said, "See, that's how you should have started that whole conversation." But he was definitely another really, really, really humble person. He was out there speaking about the importance of social equity and advocacy, and I was shocked. I didn't know that was really on any of his agenda, to be completely honest with you. But it was definitely a great conversation. I look forward to sitting down with him in Atlanta and exploring a little bit more about what made him come into the space and use his voice. Oh, we also got much love from the press room. So the press room, as long as I've been going to MJBiz, I've been doing my interviews by myself. Y'all, I normally just bring my laptop and my mic and I knock out everything. And if I'm not in podcast row, I'm normally doing them in the press room. This year, the love we got from the press room was so crazy. The love we got from the press room was so crazy, man. Matter of fact, at one point, we got saved by the bell because we needed some lotion, and shout out to black women. There's a black woman at the desk, and we asked her if she had some lotion, and she dug deep in her purse with the magic, man. But it was hella love, and it was so much fun. Just kicking it with everybody in the press room and being able to knock out those kind of interviews that we was able to knock out. Definitely had a chance to talk to some publicists who I normally only engage with via email. It was one of the moments, man. Definitely a lot of love. But in between the conference itself and in between the actual interviews, there was a lot of after parties and after event situations. One of which that I had a chance to go to and I had a chance to bring Herb to was the Dice Mixer, which my girl Roz and M for MM put on every year. And the Dice Mixer, this is the best way I can explain it. Like, if you ever went to a HBCU and ever went to a homecoming, it felt like a HBCU homecoming. Like, it was almost like every single black person who was at that conference said, "Let's all go to this party." it was like that. It was lit, man. DJ Busy B was out there. He was rapping. I was really expecting him to DJ. I did not expect Busy B to rap. I didn't even know Busy B rapped, to be honest with you. Now, I'm serious. I didn't know Busy B rap. Like, even hearing Coach's son explain to me the battle between Busy B and Kool Moe Dee, that's when it clicked in my mind. Oh yeah, Busy B do rhyme. I know Busy B as the DJ. Like, if you ever watch Paid in Full, Busy B's voice is playing throughout the whole damn movie damn near. Busy B is always been known to me as a DJ. The voice is Brucey B. Oh, I'm thinking that's Brucey B? So I'm tripping. All right, my bad. So I should have knew Busy Bee rapped because I was expecting a whole different person. My bad. So Busy Bee rapped, and I was shocked again. I still say I'm shocked. Busy Bee got his 1-2 thing on. It was a lot of dope engagements in there. Like they actually had a dab room. I tend to only dab occasionally, so I knew I was gonna sit up in the whole room and just be hitting that with people because I'd be asleep. Like it don't take much to knock me out, but definitely when it comes to them concentrates, that shit sit me the fuck down, man. And then we also had that outside lounge where everybody was smoking and kicking it, and that was one of the moments, man. I've had a chance to really talk with Herb. We had a good little hip hop conversation. Like, my bro, I had a great time at the Dice Mixer. Like that was really some elite level networking and kicking it. Thank you, Ross, for everything you do and putting that on. So I went. That was one event I went to. I actually turned.
You didn't tell him too. I had to tell him he was filming.
Oh yeah, we was getting filmed, and Herb had to check somebody. Somewhat. I knew dude was filming it. I'm talking about Coach's son. Shout out to Coach's son. I knew he was filming it because the conversation we was having was that lit. I was like, and I was already high, so I was like, I know what you was doing because we was just talking about. He was literally just talking about how he had a chance to film something, he didn't get a chance to film it, and he was mad about it. So he was lightweight filming this. So Herb, we talking. Herb in the middle of this conversation, and Herb goes, "Wait, hold up, you filming?" Herb goes, hold up. Nah, you can't film without asking. You can't film without asking.
Yo, H hates this.
H apparently hates that shit. Don't film H without proper consent because you never know where this film going.
I'm definitely doing it.
Never know where this film going, man. But that's one event we went to. We went to Dice Mixer. I didn't get a chance to go to the Grasslands party this year. I do get invited every year. Thank you again to Ricardo and the Grasslands family. But I just didn't get a chance to go to it this year. I was kind of I was beat. You know what I mean? I got off that plane at, was it midnight Vegas time, which was whatever time over here. Went to bed for a couple hours, jumped up in the morning and got moving. I was tired by the end of that night. Following night too, I wasn't really feeling going out so much because of all the walking and all the stuff we was doing that next day. Because now you talking about we was going from place to place, boom to boom to boom. We was moving. But Herb went out. Herb went out, and he went to the place I almost went to that night. I think I told you that too, because Nicole had called me and was like, yo, Juicy J gonna be at the strip club tonight for the Cincy party. You wanna go? And I was like, give me a second. Let me think about it. Because it was like 9 o'clock at this moment, and I was already in my bed. I was already uploading videos. Like, I was already in the mood of not going to go see no more group of people. So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna go. I ain't even say shit. I see Herb the next day. Herb was like, yo, I went to go see that Juicy J shit for the Cincy party. I was like, that's cool. Look at her branching out. He kicking it without me. You know what I'm saying? he walking in places. CashColorCannabis. You know what I'm saying? But he go to this spot and it's Juicy J performing. And I've never heard a more lackluster review for what happens at a strip club in my life. And I told him, I was like, I didn't expect a Las Vegas strip club to be turned, to be completely honest with you. Why not? I saw some of the videos later the next morning of Juicy when he finally got to the club. I say finally because apparently he didn't get to the club till like, what time he got there? So again, we still on East Coast time in our bodies. Yeah. And they at 1 a.m. So it's basically like 4 a.m.? Yeah. Like, yeah. So, bro, I'm out. And apparently the strippers was dancing like it was 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time too. Because I look on this video and I'm like, oh, nah, I ain't throwing no dollars in this. Like, I ain't throwing, this is, come on, son. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, if it was a stripper from Atlanta, you could have got all the money. All the money in this club. Because there ain't no way y'all was spending bread. And this is no knock, but there ain't no way y'all was spending no money for this lackluster dancing and this lackluster experience that I was seeing in this club tonight. Even Juicy J I'm pretty sure Juicy J's been to a lot of strip clubs. Even Juicy's on the floor, and I'm watching these chicks dance on the floor, and I'm looking like, I know Juicy J's like, in his head, I know Juice was like, this ain't how we supposed to do that shit, man. So, okay, so on our third day there, it's kind of light work. Like I already told her that day, because I had to drop my bags off at his room. Because I had to fly out that night. My man was flying out on Saturday. So we was on 2 different schedules. So I just dropped my bags off his room until I had to leave. I told him, I said, I'm barely carrying anything into this conference, man. It's going to be light. Like, whoever we just run up on, we going to do this interview, and that's just going to be that. And really, it was the most chill day. Like, it was really a bunch of camaraderie, a bunch of smoking outside where they say no smoking signs. They had a whole smoking lounge outside. So I'm talking about, at one point, you know, I use this phrase a lot, but I mean it. At one point, it was like I watched half my Instagram timelines smoking weed outside in Las Vegas. Like, I was looking there, I was like, yo, that's Beck, that's Will, that's Jess, that's this. I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy as fuck. And y'all sitting there getting to meet each other over a blunt. That's what's up. That's what's up. And also, we got a lot of free weed. Yeah, we was giving a lot of weed. Which goes into my next story. So I used to be an expert at smuggling weed on planes. Like, that used to be my thing. Like, ask Danny Digital. Digital would brag about it. Yo, Mac can get weed no matter where we going on this plane. Like, he don't give a fuck. He figured out a way to do it. He got it. Ever since we've had them conversations, though, something about it keeps making me feel like I'm Jinx now. And I was like, I don't want to do it no more. So my man's, though, at the last second, though, this dude, what was it called? Wax something or other? Wax Bar. Shout out to Wax Bar. Wax Bar, they came out and they was handing out free pre-rolls. Like yeah, it was like 1.5 grams. Handing out free pre-rolls. Fat joints. And I was like, boom, cool. I'll take this with me on the way up. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no pressure. When I say I got more paranoid every second I had this joint in my hand as I headed to this airport. To the point where when I was in Herb's room, I came up with the grand plan at that moment. I was like, nah, this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put it in my suit jacket next to my Black and Mild. So if they see something, it's just looking like, yo, he you know what I'm saying, he just made a mistake. It ain't no big deal if they do see it. And if they don't see it, I'm better off. I get to this airport, and I don't know. I know it was the weed. I know it was the fact that I smoked beforehand, and I was overthinking because I got so paranoid about bringing this single joint on this plane that before I even walked through the gate, I opened up my bag outside, went through my whole entire bag that took me forever to pack in the first damn place, found this joint, broke it in half. Oh! Yeah, Herb's face. Broke it in half, threw it in the ashtray, said, fuck it, I ain't gonna get flagged today. It ain't that big deal. I got bud at the house. I can always get weed when I get back to Atlanta. It's not a big deal. I kept telling myself I was going through TSA. Why go through TSA and TSA flag me anyway?
Ooh, that's good. That's good. No, you didn't have it.
But this is what they were looking for, nigga. Because apparently what TSA be looking for don't be anything weed related necessarily. If they find it, they find it. They looking for terroristic type shit. Yeah. They go through my bag and see that I had a butane lighter, something else that somebody gave me for free. Like towards the end of this conference, some of the stuff that people were selling, matter of fact, her put me onto that game. Some of the stuff people are selling at the end, come back around 3 o'clock when they about to shut down. They gonna either give it to you or it's gonna be almost like 75% off. So people was giving you everything. Like you walking down the aisle, people was just trying to not bring stuff with them too. So he's like, yo, you want a lighter? You want this? You want that? So this dude gave me a butane lighter, like a little hand one. I love those. So I threw it in my bag. I didn't think nothing of it. I go through checkout. I see my bag come down the conveyor belt, and then it stops. And then it shifts over to this other lane. I'm like, son of a bitch. It shifts over this other lane. And it goes down. I see the girl grab my bag, and she says, hey, follow me. So I'm like, shit. She goes, any contraband in your bag? I say, nah, actually. You know what I'm saying? I was happy about saying that part. She passed my bag, and she unzips this one pocket, and she goes, can't have this lighter, sir. And I was like, oh, okay. And she zips my bag up and says, have a good day. I was like, y'all weren't even looking for the weed. And I thought to myself, because this happened to me twice down in Vegas. The last time I had weed in Vegas, this is way before weed was even legal. I had brought a bunch of weed back from Vegas. So like somebody got me some weed while I was out there. And I had it bagged up in my bag in some aluminum foil. I knew the way I did it, like Danny will say, the way I did it was expert. They flagged my bag that day, and I got nervous. But the shit they took out my bag that day was a bottle of vodka that Jeezy used to put out. I forget the name of it called, but he had give away a bunch of bottles. So I had 2 bottles. One bottle I had checked on, and the other one I had carried on. They took that bottle out. So I thought they were taking the weed out when they opened up my bag. They took this bottle out and go, sir, you can't have this liquor on the flight. So I zipped the bag for her. I said, cool, zip that shit up, because I knew how much weed I had in my bag at that moment. I said, cool, zip, I'll be out. Went back to Atlanta, opened up that bag. Yeah, I had a bunch of weed that day, man. And it reminded me of that day. That first off, you overthink a lot of shit. Second off, you've already been here in Vegas. They're not going to check for nothing other than that kind of shit and the shit that they actually did check you for, which is that butane lighter. But I get home. Now, the following day is now Saturday. I get back and I'm looking online because I'm seeing some people come back from Atlanta. And I ain't going to say who it is. I ain't going to get them in trouble. But I look online, and one of the people I'm literally with, she has a whole display of all the weed she got in Vegas at her house now. And I'm sitting there like, bro, you was scared of a joint, and my girl brought a suitcase full back of various brands that she got free while she was in Vegas. And she wasn't even the only person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking like, damn, I'm watching people, yeah, I'm smoking such and such, shout out to home, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there like, yo, and I threw a joint away. Like, I'm this nigga today. like I'm this dude. I threw a joint away because I was so paranoid of getting on this plane while everybody else was putting stuff in their suitcase. Herb had the idea. He was like, yo, why don't you just check the bag? Because I could have. It was Southwest. But I didn't land until 1 a.m. and I was ready to get up out of there. And I was like, Hartsfield, I heard Andre, our mayor, Andre Dickens, had said they voted Atlanta Hartsfield Airport the #1 airport in America. Fuck you. Who voted that? Who voted that shit? That's the most dysfunctional situation of all time. That airport. That airport is the most. If you ever flew in your life, you know that the last place you really want to go through is Hartsfield because of one, how long it takes to get through checkout. And that's just not even the only thing. How many times that train be down? That you gotta walk, bro. I've walked that. It's a big ass airport, and when that train is down, nah, dog. I've walked that airport. Oh, I have the last year when I was coming back from MJBiz. Remember I told you how I met black. Oh man, how is this slipping out my head? But how I met the Black Farm dudes, man.
Oh yeah, remember.
How I met them because there was a bomb threat.
Yes.
Remember, dude brought the gun.
And I ain't gonna stop that. That's nothing to do with that.
No, but I'm saying I've been in there before where the train stopped. The last time I was there was last year, where we all had to walk. And if you with me, you know what I'm saying. When that train be down, and they tell you to walk. That is a long walk carrying bags, bro. That's a trip, man. It's almost like that's a trip. That's such a long trip you almost want to call Lyft. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a long trip of walking. So, he said it was a bomb threat. Bro, last year was so crazy too, because by the time I didn't get Wi-Fi, so by the time I landed, my phone blew up. You know, shout out to Lala Carpe Diem. She had hit me so many times. Like, Mecca text me. Next message. Text me back, nigga. Text me back. Tell me you good. I text her back like, the fuck's going on? And I see all these other messages. She sent me a link. And I was like, oh, this would happen as I land. This would happen as I land. That this dude would try to run through here with a gun. Yep. And now everything's shut down. I mean, they had people. My mom was calling. Like, my phone, everybody, that's news now. Everybody calling like, yo, are you okay? I'm good. Like, this dude didn't even I don't even know if he let the gun off. I know he ran.
That's all he has to do.
Yeah, that's all he has to do. You ran with a pistol, and they shut the whole. Matter of fact, by the time you got upstairs. Matter of fact, I already ran into this situation too. This is why I'm not a fan of Hartsfield. You walk upstairs, and there was so many people. It was almost like nerve-wracking. It looked like the end of the world type shit. Like, it was so many people just standing around. Look at this dude. He bragging. Y'all can't see this on air, but shout to Free My Weed Man. Herb just brought out his Free My Weed Man bag to show off Joe everything he brought back. Because this man was too pussy to bring back a pre-roll. Because he was too shook to bring back a pre-roll as if he hasn't done this already. But yeah, I've been up there before. Matter of fact, for Thanksgiving, it was the same deal. Thanksgiving at Hartsfield Airport, you know, they shut down the rideshare lanes. Didn't tell nobody. So, again, thousands of people just standing outside. At one point, the Uber prices jumped up to $90 for the lowest. Because people was just stuck in line. But again, this was the #1 airport in the world. Like, apparently, the #1 airport voted #1. I don't know, but I have second thoughts about that one. Also, shout out to the MJ Awards. The MJ Awards. What'd you say? Okay. Also, yeah, thank you for David Tran. David Tran was another interview we did. David Tran, Dope Magazine, Fairchild events. He does amazing things. He does amazing things in cannabis space. But one of the things he did this year was bring us the MJ Awards, which was an award show that was dedicated just to giving awards to some of the amazing brands, influencers, etc. in the cannabis space. And this year, I was not nominated for Podcast of the Year. I actually had people who were at the event texting me like, "Yo, how are you not nominated?" And I said, "I ain't, I'm gonna bring home 2 for the family next year. So don't worry about it. Like I'm big punning this. I'm bringing home 2 for the family next year, and I'm definitely plotting on that one. Like we walking away with trophies in both hands, and I'm bringing the whole crew on stage. Like we having a party up here when I get up there next year. And it looked like it was an amazing event. So I really look forward to what it looks like next year. So shout out to everybody I'm not sure who even won Podcast of the Year, but shout out to whoever won Podcast of the Year. Shout out to all the winners. It definitely was a dope night. As far as pros and cons for the evening, for the week, my pros, it was just, like I mentioned, it was really great networking. It was really good time to be in front of some people who I don't get a chance to see all the time, especially when it comes to brands. I had a chance to talk to some brands and really get a good understanding of what they needed from me when it comes to advertising. So I got some meetings set up coming up soon. I had a chance to find some like-minded individuals, man. Matter of fact, one of them I had emailed earlier today. We're going to get on the line and we're going to chop up about some stuff, man. And shout out to my boy Fresh, too. That's another one, man. I met some really good like minds who we're going to see if we can collab on some things moving forward into the new year. So that's definitely a pro. One of the cons, I didn't get a scooter. Yeah. Like again, why did I not just say go get a scooter? Like I was tired. Like when I say my legs was on fire when I got back, my legs was on fire. Like I actually at one point in the middle of an interview, you won't notice it unless you like really really look at my face. But when I was interviewing Sasha Nugent with Houseworks, both my feet caught a cramp from walking so much. So I'm standing up now and trying to knock this interview out with her, and I'm trying not to show how much pain I'm in because I really can't move my foot right now because I've been moving around that much. Yeah, it's one of them days, man. So that's my con. My only real con from MJBiz this year was I didn't get a scooter. So next year, if you see a 6'3" dude riding around on a scooter, don't say nothing other than how'd you get yours, because I want to get one too. So final thoughts. Again, I had a blast. Like, look forward to bringing more people through next year. Like, hopefully I can get Joe come with me. Herb, we going back next year?
I don't know. Maybe it's a whole year away. I don't know.
Look at my man, Zoe. I don't know. This is that's a New York dude.
You ain't even see. I went to on my last night. I went to Rick Ross shit.
What Rick Ross do?
Like,
Did you really? See, this is how Herb get down. Shout out to Caviar Club too, my man. My man went on his last day. Said I booked a massage. I got reservations at the buffet in one of the hotels. I'm looking like that's what's up. I'm scared to put a joint on the flight, and this is how y'all relaxing on y'all last day. I'm about to be tight on a Southwest flight. Also shout out on the Southwest flight. I saw my man Matthew Johnson. Matthew had on his Atlanta-Biz sweater. I had on mine. We was twinsies for a second. Yeah. You know what's even harder? So we get on the flight, and this is his first time or second time on Southwest, and he had asked me about the seating, and I said it really depends on what zone you in first. Like I'm in zone B. What zone you in? He said zone C. Oh, I said, oh, you all the way in the back, bro. Watch this. Watch this, cause I'm. I just want an aisle seat, so I'm good. I can normally find an aisle seat if I'm B. When I'm in, by the time I saw him get on the plane, by the time they called him, I was so comfortable in my seat, and I was watching a movie. I was watching Netflix when he walks by me.
Middle seat. That's middle seat.
Yeah, that's middle seat life you in now. you in this life now. Do you mind if I sit next to you? You in that life at that point. I'm sitting in the aisle seat I wanted to sit in. I was in row 9 too. So by the time they opened up that plane, I was one of them dudes. I grabbed my bag and I'm out. Flew through that airport, man. So thank you again, MJBiz. Thank you to Kelly for hooking us up and being such an amazing organizer and helping us get a lot of stuff done while he's out there. Shout out to my man Urbito for coming through with the kid, man. He made the experience that much better by helping us craft these amazing videos and this amazing content y'all about to see over these next couple of days. Thank you for everybody who interviewed with us. Thank you for everybody who knew who I met. Thank you for the family from Atlanta who, when I say we stay deep at MJBiz, Jess, Coach, like the Stanley, Mike, shout out to Omari, Best Dirty Lemonade. I saw him on stage doing his thing. Like, it was just dope to see my brothers and sisters flourish the way they flourishing right now. So those are my final thoughts. I really had a blast. I'll be back there. Most likely I'm gonna drag Herb with me. Cause we can't, if I bring Joe, I need backup. If I bring Joe, I need backup, man. And rock the house, man. Yeah, if I bring Joe, we're definitely gonna have another adult in the room. You know what I'm saying? So we can make sure that everything is going smooth. But that's Cash Color Campus, a high level of conversation. Please subscribe to the show. Oh, one last thing. Spotify wrap up came out, and when I say I'm so honored because I felt like this year we didn't put the output that we normally do when it comes to the podcast. Like, I wasn't dropping as many episodes, primarily because I was focused on releasing the magazine. And then them numbers came out, and I was like, man, y'all was really running it up, though. The ones I did put out, y'all was running it up. So thank you for everybody who is subscribed to Spotify, who helped us damn near triple our numbers this year. Man, it was just dope to see that too. So subscribe to us wherever you do listen to podcasts, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, as we're consistently dropping new videos every day now. And also make sure you follow Live Hip Hop Daily so you can know this star named Herb, because people also know who Herb is now, man. That's Cash Color Canvas, a high level conversation. We out. Hey, we definitely bring it.